Thanks for tuning in to the Teslawyer show. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and also hit that like button. Also, if you want to get up-to-the-minute notifications, you can click the bell. And as always, feel free to leave comments about this video or anything else you'd like to see.
Welcome to another episode of the Teslawyer show. Today I'll be talking about the 2018 Nissan Leaf, which Nissan has just released the final details on. And what I gotta say is I'm underwhelmed, underimpressed. I was really hoping for more. The styling, if you guys should all be pretty familiar with that by now. But I do have two videos, one on the interior and one showing the exterior of the Leaf. You can watch those afterwards. If you haven't seen the Leaf or want to see more high-res photos of the Leaf, they're pretty good. Not much to say about the styling. It is what we expected from the early spy shots, which I did a video on a while back. It looks like the Leaf in the middle, the lights in the back have been changed, and the front is now more Nissan friendly, pretty much in line with the Altima, Sentra, or Versa. It's got the V-Motion grille with a nice smooth inlay where the Nissan crest is, but the flap for the charging port is pretty large. And the gaps that I've seen so far in some of the pictures are not the best, but, you know, there's not much you can say about that. They're trying to hit, seems like Nissan is trying to hit the price point on the Leaf more than what most people were hoping for, which was more mileage, because that's what really counts with the EV. They got to get rid of the range anxiety, and now the standard seems to be at least 200 miles on a full charge. Model 3 from Tesla has hit that with a 215 mile range, and the Bolt is at 238. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but where Nissan does win is on price, and they've even beaten the previous Leaf, the 2017 Leaf, which, if you're going Leaf for Leaf, 2018 is definitely a step up, but it's still behind where the competition is now. Nissan, Chevy, and Tesla are the three main pure EV companies, and Nissan, I think, in a comparison point for point, it's not up to the other two except in price. So the old Leaf was about $30,500, and now the price for the bottom category Leaf is the Leaf S, which is coming in at $29,900. And even at that approximately $700 in savings, you are getting a few extras that you didn't get on the old Leaf. You're getting what they say is about 37% more horsepower. It's going to be a little quicker, a little peppier, which is good. You're getting a range increase of about 40%, which the old Leaf was only 107 miles, barely scratching the surface of where we need to be. And now they bumped the Leaf up to 150 miles, which is respectable, except, as I've stated before, the other two main competitors are over 200 miles. 150 is good, and at the price point, it's all right. Maybe it's going to get a lot more Leaf buyers into the community and stay there. But if you're really comparing the three, I don't think the Leaf is going to win dollar for dollar. I'm not going to talk about the federal tax credit. That really doesn't matter because they're all eligible for it, even though the Model 3 might lose it a little sooner. And the Leaf actually is probably running out of the credit soon too, because they have been the #1 selling all-around electric vehicle. But getting back to the 2018 Leaf S, the bonuses that you're getting, except along with the extra mileage, you're also getting e-pedal, which is something that Nissan has been touting as a new feature. If you haven't driven an EV, when you take your foot off the gas pedal, the regenerative braking kicks in and slows it down. They've kind of bumped this up, and now the car will come to a complete stop. So in traffic, you can drive with one pedal, just the gas pedal. You don't have to touch the brake, and the car will come to a complete stop. And that will be pretty convenient, especially for stop-and-go traffic in the cities. I definitely think that's going to be a benefit or a bonus, but I can see Tesla putting this in, just increasing their regenerative braking, and Chevy can do this on the Bolt. I don't think there's anything new in the technology that the other competitors can't do with some firmware update. Just use their emergency braking or increase their regenerative braking to to get the benefit of a complete stop. I drove the Tesla Model X recently, and with regenerative braking on the highest level, it comes to pretty much a complete stop on its own without hitting the brake. It's not that big of a leap to get to this. Okay, so with the Leaf S, you do not get Pro Pilot, which they've been touting as their level 2 autonomous driving. With the basic S, you get automatic emergency braking. If you're going to hit something, the car will detect it and stop. And you'll get the standard cruise control that you would have in any other vehicle. To get, and then the next level, a step up, you have to go to the SV, which starts at $32,490, which again is less than the previous SV. Actually, this time they're saying you save about $1,700 with the added bonuses of the intelligent cruise control, which now will add not only the regular cruise control, but it will also slow down and speed up for you as the traffic moves, and you'll still have the emergency braking. You'll also get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which they're saying are bonuses. I think every car should come with this at this point. This should be basic, but I guess you got to pay for it if you just get the regular Leaf S. And then to actually get Pro Pilot, you have to step up. I think they weren't too clear, but I think you can get the Pro Pilot on the SV, but you might have to pay for it. You don't get the full Pro Pilot until you get to the top level SL, which I think also includes leather, and that one starts at $36,200. And right now you're in the meat of the Model 3 from Tesla, which starts at $3,500 for the basic, which gets you 215 miles, and you have to add the autonomous driving to that, and that will take you close to $40,000. So if you say if Pro Pilot does turn out to be equivalent to level 2 autonomous driving in the Tesla Model 3, then there will be a savings there. And of course, the Chevy Bolt, which is a little bit more expensive, about $37,000-$38,000 for the base model, and that currently does not have autonomous driving. So this is where the Leaf could have the benefit of giving you some type of level 2 autonomous driving for less than its competitors. But again, you are losing the mileage. So if you don't have home charging and you need that extra 50 miles, which I could see people needing, I do in my case, it's making it a hard case to say I'm going to jump to the Leaf at this point, but I'm still looking into it. And I'll get to that a little bit later. So you will get that, and you get the intelligent around view monitor. You'll get rear cross traffic alerts, premium audio, blind spot warning, and a few other features. I think the SL comes with leather. So this is about $37,000, and the price can go up with some options from there. So it's tight to say, do you want what could be interior wise, I haven't really seen the Leaf or the 3 in person. It's probably on par with the Bolt. The Model 3, I'm saying, is probably going to have a little better interior. So you may have a decent interior, but what most people are looking for in an electric vehicle is mileage. So you're losing at least 50 miles on a full charge. And Nissan's previous battery tech has not been the best. They had a lot of problems with the early Leafs, and they came out with the Lizard battery, which was better for heat management and did better in hot climates. But they still had a lot of cold weather degradation because they didn't really have any battery management, onboard battery management technology. So we'll see if that improves. If that improves and you can really get the 150 all the time, even in the winter, then we could probably do all right. But Nissan's battery tech is still not up on par with the others. I did a few little calculations to see what they were doing, and if you got to a 60 kilowatt Leaf battery, you get up to about 225 miles, which is less than the 60 kilowatt battery you get from the Bolt, which gives you about 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. And the Model 3 at their 50 kilowatt battery giving you 215 miles, you get about 4.3 miles per kilowatt hour. So Nissan is still lacking a little bit in the battery tech and getting the mileage per kilowatt hour on par with the other two. And I think there's definitely some room for them to jump. I don't know why they haven't come out with a 60 kilowatt hour battery. They said that they're going to come out either in 2019 or so with a longer range Nissan Leaf, which this may be, I don't know, 50 kilowatt hour battery. They seem to be creeping up very slowly. But if they do jump to the 60 kilowatt hour battery, then we're probably talking somewhere in the $40,000 range for that car to start off. And it should have all the other features included, the ProPilot and the e-pedal, which they've been touting as their new special features for the new Leaf. So, I don't know. Nissan, I was hoping they would step it up a little bit more when they came out with the 2018 Leaf. I'm a little disappointed that they didn't get to the range marker of over 200 miles on a full charge, especially with their previous battery tech problems. So they're still working on it. They do seem to still be pushing. They've recently announced that with Mitsubishi, they're going to make some hybrid vehicles, which Nissan really hasn't done. They haven't stepped into the hybrid market. They were trying to do full electric, which I applauded them for, and I still applaud them for. But they're talking about, the magic 2020, 2021. We're going to see these hybrids and more electric vehicles coming from Nissan, along with partnership with Mitsubishi. And I'm sure Renault will also be a part of this to help cut costs. They're probably making a new platform. But Nissan, I really was hoping that you guys were going to step it up more. And they're going to be in the 2020 crush now, because every car company has said, 2020 is when they're going to come out with their 200 plus mile affordable EV. So Nissan is going to lose out. They could have an extra 2 years of a really uncontested market where they could have really done a lot more. But I guess their tech really isn't there, which is proving Elon and Tesla correct in that, it's going to take a lot of investment from these car companies to step up and meet their battery tech and what they're doing with their cars. I mean, the Tesla is still a leap ahead with all the technology they're throwing in there, with the innovation they've made with the one screen, all functions, the simplicity of the Model 3, the look of the Model 3. I think it looks the best. The Tesla designers really have nailed the kind of look for Tesla. And the Nissan it's not offensive. It doesn't have the bug eyes of the early 2011 and so Leaf. People may have been turned off by that. Now it looks like a regular Nissan. It fits in the family, which is a good thing. You don't have to make a crazy looking car to say it's electric, but it has to also beat its competitors. And I think the Bolt is still pretty strong competition for it, even though the Bolt is not being sold everywhere in strong numbers. Their sales have been lagging a little bit. But we'll see what happens with the Leaf. I mean, so far it didn't seem like they were trying to pigeonhole it in California and such. But their drive events are a lot of West Coast focused. They're doing some in Atlanta, nothing in New York that they're doing in October. And I'll put a link to their dates and locations to that in the bottom. So final wrap up, I'm still looking at the Leaf because Nissan is offering me, trade in my current lease, which I'm leasing an Altima, to get a new car. So if they give me a good offer and I can figure out the charging, I know there are a few Nissan dealerships in my travel area that I usually go to that I could probably charge. But if it's still going to have to convince the family that 150 miles is enough for us to go fully electric without home charging. And I might look into getting my landlord to include some charging, still looking at that. But right now, it's still a tough sell. If they'd gone over the 200 miles, it would have been much easier for me to sell, the Leaf as affordable and doable with our charging restrictions. But in New York, if I'm going to pay, $20, $30 to park so that I can be able to charge at a garage, I might as well still pay for gas. It's not going to charge. It's going to cost me probably more with 150 miles. If I have to charge up twice in 1 week and pay for it, it's going to cost me more than gas. Right now, gas is less than, $40 every two weeks. So, and I do only average about 150 miles a week or less. So it could be doable if the battery tech does hold up and I don't lose a lot of travel to to the battery just discharging while the car is sitting there. All right, thanks for listening to my thoughts. Stay tuned for my other videos, Nissan exterior and interior of the 2018 Leaf.
As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe by clicking on my logo, or add a comment. You can find me on Twitter at Teslawyer Show. And before you leave, don't forget to check out another one of my videos.